Now, you see, when it comes to Erik ten Hag, there is a massive question mark on his name, on his resume, the manager, his principles, what he stands for. And it's, why couldn't you play the football you played at Ajax, at Manchester United? That's the question mark. That's the question that will be thrown every single time Manchester United drop points. Why? Why couldn't you replicate it? Why can't you get this Manchester United team to showcase it on a consistent basis? I'm here to tell you guys, maybe, just maybe, Erik ten Hag's Manchester United this season might be playing a possession-based game. Now, you're probably sat wondering, HAJJ, season hasn't even started. All we've seen is pre-season and the Community Shield game. I know, the sample size is small, but there's still something to take out of those games. Let's look at the Community Shield. Now, when it comes to the Community Shield, there were two moments that I remember, and two moments that I want to focus on, mainly because Manchester United, these Manchester United players have been in the same position throughout the whole of last year, but they went about things completely differently. But in the Community Shield, they showed me. We've learned. We're looking to play in a different way. Now, let's get into it. Manchester United win the ball in Manchester City's half. Bruno passes the ball to Ahmad. Ahmad is carrying. But you can clearly see Ahmad's got 3 Manchester City players facing him up. Now, at times, if Ahmad had no support, he would either run into them or have to pass the ball backwards. That's where Bruno comes to his aid. Bruno does the overlapping run to occupy Vardiel, just taking one player away from Ahmad. But at the end of the day, Ahmad's still got a tough task ahead of him. Ahmad carries the ball into the box, but the beauty in it is you've already now seen players running for the sake of creating space for their teammates. Players running for the sake of taking the opposition away from their teammate. Casemiro positions himself perfectly, creating a passing angle, but most importantly, being on the same wavelength where if you give me the ball, I will return it to you, but in the right space, at the right time, for you to penetrate this Manchester City team. And on another day, Ahmad rolls it into Mason Mount, and it's one of the most beautiful goals you'll see. But this comes with chemistry. This comes with having an understanding of your teammates. But this moment, if you were to go back and watch it, you see players played with one another. Players understood one another. But most importantly, they shared the same vision. Now, the second clip is my favorite one, and it's the one that you learn the most out of. And keep an eye on the time. So it's 34 minutes and 56 seconds. That's when Kobbie Mainoo regains possession, intercepts a loose ball from Manchester City. Now, Kobbie recycles it back towards his own half. In this clip, in this moment, you see Manchester United being calm and composed under pressure, favouring a possession-based game, beating Manchester City's press, and most importantly, creating a goal-scoring opportunity. But 34 minutes and 56 seconds. Kobbie recycles into his own half. Now, Manchester City, it's a well-known thing about their style of game. Once they lose the ball, they counter-press. So Man United have now regained possession. Manchester City are pressing. You can clearly see the players are positioning themselves correctly. The players are creating passing angles to pass the ball around these Manchester City players. 2-3 passes, and Manchester City and Manchester United had beaten the press down the left-hand side. But the beauty in it is, when you overload the left-hand side, it forces the opposition to shuffle to one side. What does that mean? Because this is the moment that created this opportunity. When the ball is passed into Mason Mount, he knows I can continue playing down the left-hand side, or I can give it to my teammate who's isolated 1v1 down the right-hand side in Amad Diallo. And that's exactly what happens. Now, the reason why this piece of play was important was the fact that Manchester United had overloaded the left-hand side. Why? Because they needed the bodies to beat Manchester City's press. But when the opportunity presented itself to be direct, to pass the ball into space to a teammate that can attack the space, that was what Mason Mount done. Now, Amad Diallo carries the ball forward. Bruno eventually is on the ball down Manchester City's right-hand side. Similar to what I said in Manchester United's own half, Bruno's got options. Bruno's got 3 passing angles, 3 options that he can pass the ball into. So Bruno passes the ball to Casemiro. But if I was to pause it right now, similar to what I said a few seconds ago, when Bruno Fernandes was on the ball, he had 3 passing angles available to him. A few minutes ago, Manchester United in their own half trying to beat Manchester City's counter press with the overloads. Players were making themselves available. Now, what do all 3 of these examples have in common? The players have positioned themselves correctly, but Manchester United beat Manchester City, manoeuvred around Manchester City with one-touch football. Casemiro is on the ball. He's got 2 forward options. He's also got a Bruno Fernandes that's passed the ball and began running to move the opposition to create more space for Casemiro. Within a matter of seconds. We're talking 35 minutes and 40 seconds. In 44 seconds, Manchester United completed 18 passes. Manchester United beat Manchester City's press. And Manchester United got themselves into a goal-scoring opportunity by Marcus Rashford. Understanding the space is out wide on the left. Let me create a passing angle for Casemiro. He peels off to the left-hand side. On another day, it's a goal. And like I said earlier on another day, it's a beautiful goal that gets spread all over the world. And people label it as possession-based football. So, what does Erik ten Hag need to do for Manchester United fans to see this on a consistent basis? What does he need to do? Number 1, and it's the most important one, repetition. Repetition, regardless of the personnel, regardless of the opposition. Play the same way. Don't let the opposition dictate the way you set up your teams or the way you go about the game. Repetition. Stick to your principles, and by doing that, the players become familiar with their roles, with the demands, the expectations. They begin to build more chemistry with one another, but most importantly, they learn and they master the ability to play as a team. Number 2, integrate the better players. Manchester United had players missing in the Community Shield. Integrate the better players with the skill set that will elevate everybody else. Number 3, prime example that we're talking about Community Shield, punish the opposition. These nice sequences require goals. Put the ball into the back of the net. Become more clinical. Number 4, another important one is play style over players. Play style over big names. Let the system, let the style of play dictate who plays and who doesn't play. That is Erik ten Hag's challenge. If Erik ten Hag can implement all 4 of these things, Manchester United will be playing a possession-based style of game this year. Now, is it going to be to the level of Manchester City? No. But with time, practice makes perfect. Anyways, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the like, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you guys on another one.